Unit 81, Section A.
Rosemary has 2 children. Both are married.
Would you like tea or coffee? You can have either.
Do you want to go to the cinema or the theatre?
Neither. I want to stay at home.
Would you like tea or coffee?
Either. I don't mind. I don't want either. Neither.
Section B.
Last year I went to Paris and Rome. I liked both cities very much.
First I worked in an office and later in a shop. Neither job was very interesting.
There are 2 ways from here to the station. You can go either way. Section C.
Neither of my parents is English.
I haven't read either of these books.
I like both of those pictures. I like both those pictures.
Both of Anne's sisters are married. Both Anne's sisters are married.
Section D.
Anne has got 2 sisters. Both of them are married.
Tom and I didn't eat anything. Neither of us was hungry.
Who are those 2 people? I don't know either of them. Unit 82, Section A.
Did you buy much food?
Did you buy many books?
We haven't got much luggage.
We don't know many people.
How much money do you want?
How many photographs did you take?
Have you got any money?
I've got some, but not much.
Did you take any photographs?
I took some, but not many.
We bought a lot of food.
We bought a lot of books.
Paula hasn't got a lot of free time.
Did they ask you a lot of questions?
There is a lot of food.
There are a lot of trees.
A lot of people speak English.
Section B.
Do you drink a lot of coffee?
I don't drink much coffee.
I drink a lot of coffee.
Do you drink much coffee?
Yes, a lot.
Have you got many friends?
We haven't got a lot of friends.
We've got many friends.
Section C.
Diane spoke to me, but she didn't say much.
Do you watch TV much?
No, not much.
We like films, so we go to the cinema a lot.
I don't like him very much.
Unit 83, Section B.
She didn't eat anything, but she drank a little water.
Last night I wrote a few letters.
We're going away for a few days.
I speak a little Spanish.
I speak a few words of Spanish.
Can you speak Spanish?
A little.
Are there any shops in the village?
Yes, a few. Section C.
There was little food in the fridge. It was nearly empty.
There were few people in the park. It was nearly empty.
Dan is very thin because he eats very little.
Your English is very correct. You make very few mistakes.
Section D.
They have a little money, so they're not poor.
I've got a few friends, so I'm not lonely.
They have little money. They are very poor.
I'm sad and I'm lonely. I've got few friends.
Unit 84, Section A.
They live in a modern house.
Have you met any famous people?
Section B.
The weather is nice today.
These flowers are very beautiful.
Are you cold? Shall I close the window?
I'm hungry. Can I have something to eat?
The film wasn't very good. It was boring.
Please be quiet. I'm reading. Section C.
You look tired.
Yes, I feel tired.
George told me about his new job. It sounds very interesting.
Don't cook that meat. It doesn't smell good.
Unit 85. Section B.
The train stopped suddenly.
I opened the door slowly.
Please listen carefully.
I understand you perfectly.
Sue is very quiet. Sue speaks very quietly.
Be careful. Listen carefully.
It was a bad game. Our team played badly.
I feel nervous. I waited nervously.
Section C.
Sue's job is very hard. Sue works very hard.
Ben is a fast runner. Ben can run fast.
The bus was late. I went to bed late. Section D.
Your English is very good. You speak English very well.
It was a good game. Our team played well.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And you?
Unit 86. Section B.
Rome is old, but Athens is older.
Is it cheaper to go by car or by train?
Helen wants a bigger car.
This coat is okay, but I think the other one is nicer.
Don't write a letter. It's easier to phone.
How far is it to the station? A mile?
No, it's further. About 2 miles.
Section C.
You must be more careful.
I don't like my job. I want to do something more interesting.
Is it more expensive to go by car or by train? Section D.
The weather wasn't very good yesterday, but it's better today.
Do you feel better today?
No, I feel worse.
Which is worse, a headache or a toothache?
Unit 87. Section A.
Athens is older than Rome.
Are oranges more expensive than bananas?
It's easier to phone than to write a letter.
How are you today?
Not bad. Better than yesterday.
The restaurant is more crowded than usual. Section B.
I can run faster than him. I can run faster than he can.
You are a better singer than me. You are a better singer than I am.
I got up earlier than her. I got up earlier than she did. Section C.
How much did your shoes cost? £30?
No, more than that.
The film was very short. Less than an hour.
They've got more money than they need.
You go out more than me.
Section D.
Canada is much bigger than France.
Jill is a bit older than Gary. She's 25 and he's 24 and a half.
The hotel was much more expensive than I expected.
You go out much more than me.
Unit 88. Section A.
Rome is not as old as Athens.
The Grand Hotel isn't as expensive as the Europa.
I don't play tennis as often as you.
The weather is better than it was yesterday. It isn't as cold.
Section B.
I haven't got as much money as you.
I don't know as many people as you.
I don't go out as much as you. Section C.
Rome is not as old as Athens. Athens is older than Rome.
Tennis isn't as popular as football. Football is more popular than tennis.
I don't go out as much as you. You go out more than me. Section D.
She's not as old as him. She's not as old as he is.
You don't work as hard as me. You don't work as hard as I do.
Section E.
The weather today is the same as yesterday.
My hair is the same colour as yours.
I arrived at the same time as Tim. Unit 89. Section C.
The church is very old. It's the oldest building in the town.
What is the longest river in the world?
Money is important, but it isn't the most important thing in life.
Excuse me, where is the nearest bank?
Section D.
Ken is a good player, but he isn't the best in the team.
Section E.
The film was very bad. I think it's the worst film I've ever seen.
What is the most unusual thing you've ever done?
Unit 90. Section B.
Is there enough sugar in your coffee?
Yes, thank you.
We wanted to play football, but we didn't have enough players.
Why don't you buy a car? You've got enough money.
I've got some money, but not enough to buy a car.
Would you like some more to eat?
No, thanks. I've had enough.
You're always at home. You don't go out enough.
Section C.
Shall we sit outside?
No, it isn't warm enough.
Can you hear the radio? Is it loud enough for you?
Don't buy that coat. It's nice, but it isn't long enough.
Section D.
This pullover isn't big enough for me.
I haven't got enough money for a car.
I haven't got enough money to buy a car.
Is your English good enough to have a conversation?
There aren't enough chairs for everybody to sit down.
Unit 91. Section B.
Can you turn the radio down? It's too loud.
I can't work. I'm too tired.
I think you work too hard. Section C.
I don't like the weather here. There is too much rain.
Let's go to another restaurant. There are too many people here.
Emily studies all the time. I think she studies too much.
Traffic is a problem in this town. There are too many cars.
Section D.
The hat is too big for him.
The hat isn't big enough for him.
The radio is too loud. Can you turn it down, please?
The radio isn't loud enough. Can you turn it up, please?
There's too much sugar in my coffee.
There's not enough sugar in my coffee.
I don't feel very well. I ate too much.
You're very thin. You don't eat enough.
Section E.
These shoes are too big for me.
It's a small house. Too small for a large family.
I'm too tired to go out.
It's too cold to sit outside.
She speaks too fast for me to understand.
Unit 92. Section A.
Sue reads a newspaper every day.
Section B.
We went to a party last night.
Unit 93. Section A.
My brother never speaks to me.
She's always late.
Do you often go to restaurants?
I sometimes eat too much.
I don't want to go to the cinema.
I've got 3 sisters. They're all married. Section B.
I always go to work by car.
Anne often plays tennis.
You sometimes look unhappy.
They usually have dinner at 7 o'clock.
We rarely watch television.
Richard is a good footballer. He also plays tennis and volleyball.
I've got 3 sisters. They all live in London.
I'm never ill.
They are usually at home in the evenings.
It is often very cold here in winter.
When I was a child, I was always late for school.
Where's Linda?
She's still in bed.
I've got 2 brothers. They're both doctors.
Section C.
I will always remember you.
It doesn't often rain here.
Do you usually go to work by car?
I can never find my keys.
Have you ever been to Rome?
Where's Linda?
She's just gone out.
Where are your friends?
They've all gone to the cinema. Unit 94. Section A.
I had a lot to eat, but I'm still hungry.
Did you sell your car?
No, I've still got it.
Do you still live in Barcelona?
No, I live in Madrid now.
Section B.
Where's Diane?
She isn't here yet.
What are you doing this evening?
I don't know yet.
Are you ready to go yet?
Not yet. Wait a moment.
Have you finished with the newspaper yet?
No, I'm still reading it.
She hasn't gone yet. She's still here.
I haven't finished eating yet. I'm still eating.
Section C.
What time is John arriving?
He's already here.
I'm going to tell you what happened.
That's not necessary. I already know.
Anne doesn't want to go to the cinema. She has already seen the film.
Unit 95. Section A.
I gave the keys to Liz.
I gave Liz the keys.
Section C.
I bought my mother some flowers.
Can you get me a newspaper when you go out?
Section D.
I gave the keys to Liz. I gave Liz the keys.
That's my book. Can you give it to me? Can you give me that book?
I gave it to her.
Here are the keys. Give them to your father.
Unit 96. Section A.
I start work at 8 o'clock.
The shops close at 5:30.
Goodbye. See you on Friday.
I don't work on Sundays.
The concert is on the 22nd of November.
I'm going on holiday in October.
Emma left school in 1993.
The garden is lovely in spring.
Section B.
Are you going away at the weekend?
I can't sleep at night.
Where will you be at Christmas?
I'm going on holiday at the end of October.
Are you busy at the moment?
Section C.
I always feel good in the morning.
Do you often go out in the evening?
I'm meeting Jill on Monday morning.
Are you doing anything on Saturday evening?
Section D.
Are you going out this evening?
The garden was lovely last summer.
I'm going on holiday next Monday. Section E.
Hurry! The train leaves in 5 minutes.
Goodbye. I'll see you in a few days.
Unit 97. Section A.
We lived in Canada from 1982 to 1990.
I work from Monday to Friday.
We lived in Canada from 1982 until 1990. Section B.
They're going away tomorrow. They'll be away until Friday.
I went to bed early, but I wasn't tired. I read a book until 3 o'clock.
Wait here until I come back.
Wait here till I come back.
How long will you be away?
Until Monday.
When are you coming back?
On Monday?
Section C.
John is in hospital. He's been in hospital since Monday.
Mr. and Mrs. Kelly have been married since 1968.
It has been raining since I arrived.
We lived in Canada from 1982 to 1990. We lived in Canada until 1990.
Now we live in France. We came to France in 1990. We have lived in France since 1990.
John has been in hospital for 3 days. Section D.
George stayed with us for 3 days.
I'm going away for a few weeks.
I'm going away for the weekend.
They've been married for 10 years.
Unit 98. Section A.
Everybody is nervous before exams.
I went to sleep during the film.
We were tired after our visit to the museum. Section B.
Don't forget to close the window before you go out.
I often go to sleep while I'm watching television.
They went home after they did the shopping. Section C.
We didn't speak during the meal.
We didn't speak while we were eating.
We played tennis for 2 hours.
I lived in London for a year.
Section D.
I always have breakfast before going to work.
After doing the shopping, they went home.
Before eating the apple, I washed it carefully.
I started work after reading the newspaper.
Unit 99. Section A.
Where's David?
In the kitchen.
What's in that box?
Angela works in a shop.
I had a swim in the river.
Milan is in the north of Italy.
I live in a town, but I want to live in the country.
Section B.
There's somebody at the bus stop.
The car is waiting at the traffic lights.
Julia is working at her desk.
Write your name at the top of the page.
My house is at the end of the street.
Section C.
There are some books on the shelf and some pictures on the wall.
There are a lot of apples on those trees.
Don't sit on the grass, it's wet.
There is a stamp on the envelope.
Who is that man on the motorbike?
Unit 100. Section A.
Where's Kate?
She's in bed.
David's father is ill. He's in hospital.
I live in a small street near the station.
I like to look at the stars in the sky at night.
What's the largest city in the world?
I read about the accident in the newspaper.
You look sad in this photograph.
Did you come here in your car?
There's a big tree in the middle of the garden.
Section B.
Will you be at home this evening?
Where's Kate?
She's at work.
Helen is studying law at university.
Do you want me to meet you at the station?
Where were you yesterday?
At my sister's.
I saw Tom at the doctor's.
There weren't many people at the party.
We stayed at a nice hotel. We stayed in a nice hotel.
Section C.
Did you come here on the bus?
The office is on the first floor.
I met Anne on the way to work. Unit 101. Section A.
We're going to London next week.
Piccadilly Circus is in London.
I want to go to Italy.
My brother lives in Italy.
We walked from my house to the city centre.
The main shops are in the city centre.
What time do you go to bed?
I like reading in bed.
The bus is going to the airport.
The bus is at the airport.
Sally didn't go to work yesterday.
Anne wasn't at work yesterday.
I went to a party last night.
I met her at a party.
You must come to our house.
Anne stayed at her brother's house.
Section B.
I'm tired. I'm going home.
I'm staying at home this evening.
Did you walk home?
Where's Anne?
At home.
Section C.
They arrived in England last week.
What time did you arrive at the hotel?
What time did you get to the hotel?
What time did you get to Paris?
I was tired when I got home. I was tired when I arrived home.
Unit 102. Section C.
Our house is by the sea.
is that man by the window?
Is there a public phone here?
Yes, by the door.
Section D.
The cat is under the table.
The girl is standing under a tree.
I'm wearing a jacket under my coat. Unit 104. Section A.
Jane isn't at work this week. She's on holiday.
We watched the news on television.
We listened to the news on the radio.
I spoke to Carol on the phone last night.
The house is on fire. Call the fire brigade.
Was the train late?
No, it was on time.
Section B.
Lisa got married at 21.
The car was travelling at 50 kilometres an hour when the accident happened.
Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Section C.
Do you like travelling by train?
Jane usually goes to work by bike.
She goes to work on foot.
Have you read any books by Charles Dickens?
Who is that painting by? Picasso?
I was bitten by a dog. Section D.
Did you stay at a hotel or with friends?
Wait for me. Please don't go without me.
Do you like your coffee with or without milk?
I cut the paper with a pair of scissors.
Do you know that man with the beard?
I'd like to have a house with a big garden. Section E.
Some people talk about their work all the time.
I don't know much about cars.
Did you see the programme about computers on TV last night? Unit 105. Section A.
Are you afraid of dogs?
Why are you angry with me? What have I done?
Are you angry about last night?
Anne is very different from her sister.
I'm fed up with my job. I want to do something different.
The room was full of people.
Are you good at maths?
Tina is very bad at writing letters.
I'm not interested in sport.
Sue is married to a dentist.
It was kind of you to help us. Thank you very much.
David is very friendly. He's always very nice to me.
I'm afraid I can't help you. I'm sorry about that.
I'm sorry for not phoning you yesterday.
Unit 106. Section A.
A man stopped me and asked me for money.
Does this book belong to you?
I can't find my pen. What's happened to it?
Listen to this music. It's beautiful.
Did you talk to Paul about the problem?
Can I speak to Chris, please?
Thank you very much for your help.
He never thinks about other people.
Mark is thinking of buying a new car.
Don't go yet. Wait for me.
I never get letters. Nobody writes to me.
I must phone my parents. Section B.
She's looking at her watch.
Look at these flowers. They're beautiful.
Why are you looking at me like that?
He's lost his key. He's looking for it.
I'm looking for Sarah. Have you seen her?
When Barbara is at work, a friend of hers looks after her children.
Don't lose this book. Look after it.
Section C.
Do you like eating in restaurants?
Sometimes. It depends on the restaurant.
Do you want to come out with us?
It depends where you're going.
Unit 107.
Anne opened the door of the car and got in.
I waited outside the house. I didn't go in.
The car stopped and a woman got out.
I went to the window and looked out.
The bus arrived and I got on.
Be careful. Don't fall off.
He stood up and left the room.
I usually get up early.
We looked up at the stars.
Would you like to sit down?
The picture fell down.
Lie down on the floor.
The thief ran away.
Anne got into the car and drove away.
Anne has gone away for a few days.
We went out for dinner and then went back to our hotel.
Go away and don't come back.
Anne is away. She'll be back on Monday.
The wall wasn't very high, so we climbed over.
Turn over and look at the next page.
Somebody shouted my name, so I looked round.
We went for a long walk. After 6 miles, we turned round and went back.
Unit 108. Section A.
It was cold, so I put on my coat.
I'm going to take off my shoes.
Here's your coat. Put it on.
Your shoes are dirty. Take them off.
Section B.
It was dark, so I turned on the light.
I don't want to watch this programme. You can turn it off.
I switched on the light and switched off the television.
Those are my keys on the floor. Can you pick them up for me?
I stopped reading and put my book down.
You can take my umbrella, but please bring it back.
I took my new sweater back to the shop. It was too small for me.
I've got Diane's keys. I must give them back to her.
I read the letter and then put it back in the envelope. Unit 109. Section B.
I got home, had something to eat, sat down in an armchair, and fell asleep.
Anne is at work, Sue has gone shopping, and Chris is playing football.
Section D.
Because the water wasn't clean, we didn't go swimming.
Section E.
It was late, and I was tired, so I went to bed.
I always enjoy visiting London, but I wouldn't like to live there because it's too big.
Unit 110. Section A.
When I went out, it was raining. It was raining when I went out.
When you're tired, don't drive. Don't drive when you're tired.
Anne was very happy when she passed her exam. When Anne passed her exam, she was very happy.
Always look both ways before you cross the road. Before you cross the road, always look both ways.
While I was waiting for the bus, it began to rain. It began to rain while I was waiting for the bus.
He never played football again after he broke his leg. After he broke his leg, he never played football again. Section B.
When I get home this evening, I'm going to have a shower.
I can't talk to you now. I'll talk to you later, when I have more time.
Please close the window before you go out.
Julia is going to live in our flat while we are away.
I'll stay here until you come back.
Unit 111. Section A.
Are you going to the concert?
Yes, if I can get a ticket.
Section B.
If you see Anne tomorrow, can you ask her to phone me?
If I'm late this evening, don't wait for me.
What shall we do if it rains?
If I don't feel well tomorrow, I'll stay at home.
Section C.
Are you going out later?
Perhaps. If I go out, I'll close the window.
Are you going out later?
Yes, I am. When I go out, I'll close the window.
When I get home this evening, I'm going to have a shower.
If I'm late this evening, don't wait for me.
We're going to play tennis, if it doesn't rain.
Unit 112. Section A.
If he had the money, he would buy a car. He would buy a car if he had the money.
I don't know the answer. If I knew the answer, I'd tell you.
It's raining, so we're not going out. We'd get wet if we went out.
Jane lives in a city. She likes cities. She wouldn't be happy if she lived in the country.
If you didn't have a job, what would you do?
I'm sorry I can't help you. I'd help you if I could.
If we had a car, we could travel more.
Section B.
It's cold. If I were you, I'd put your coat on.
It's not a very nice place. I wouldn't go there if I was you.
It would be nice if the weather were better. Section C.
I must go and see Anne. If I have time, I will go today. I must go and see Anne. If I had time, I would go today.
I like that jacket. I'll buy it if it isn't too expensive. I like that jacket, but it's very expensive. I'd buy it if it wasn't so expensive.
I'll help you if I can. I'd help you if I could, but I can't. Unit 113. Section B.
A thief is a person who steals things.
Do you know anybody who can play the piano?
The man who phoned didn't give his name.
The people who work in the office are very friendly.
Section C.
An aeroplane is a machine that flies.
Emma lives in a house that is 500 years old.
The people that work in the office are very friendly. Section D.
An aeroplane is a machine which flies.
Emma lives in a house which is 500 years old.
Do you remember the woman who was playing the piano at the party? Unit 114. Section A.
The bag that he is carrying is very heavy.
Have you seen the photographs that Anne took?
Did you find the book you wanted?
The people we met were very nice.
Everything I said was true.
The film we saw was very good. Section B.
Do you know the man Jill is talking to?
The hotel we stayed at was near the station.
These are the books I told you about.
The hotel where we stayed was near the station.
Section C.
I met a woman who can speak 6 languages.
Jim was wearing a hat that was too big for him.